you see last night the return of the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad return
you know
after
what?
missing
I got to
16
call out
games.
Coach Adelman. Why? He gave this guy 25 minutes. He would have had 40.
How do NBA players really feel about Nikola Jokic? Not the casual fan takes, not the loud social media debates. I'm talking about the guys who actually have to guard him, build a game plan for him, and survive 4 full quarters against him.
Let me see what he had. 25 minutes, missed 3 shots, 10 boards or 12 boards, 31 points. Like, he's just a constant. He's a constant in every category, every stat. He was just going at his own pace. You know, he wanted me to keep playing my game and stay aggressive, but you know, it's a different feel.
For the first time in modern NBA history, we're watching a center dominate the league without elite speed, without crazy hops, without begging for attention. It's pure skill, pure IQ, pure control of the game. And look at the timing in this load management era where stars sit out back-to-backs and protect their mileage. Jokic misses time, comes back after a month, and looks even sharper.
I just take a moment to talk about Nikola Jokic making a joke out of the NBA every night.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I was literally just talking to my good friend Jared Dudley right before we jumped on here. I was just like, this guy is ridiculous. He was like,
no rust, no warm-up period, just straight domination like he never stepped away. That tells you something different is happening here. But here's where it gets wild. When NBA players talk about Jokic, the tone changes. It's not the basic he's tough or he's talented.
Jokic leads all players in total assists all the way back since 2020. The Joker is averaging an NBA best 11.1 assists per game this season. That's on pace to set a career high for a second consecutive year. He's also the leader in total points scored since 2020. He's on pace to set a career high in points per game for a second straight season. He's making just over 2 threes a game on 43% shooting from downtown. And the Nuggets superstar, he also leads all players in rebounds per game and in steals, all since 2020. So yes, he is on pace to be the first player in NBA history to lead all players in points, in rebounds, in assists, in steals, and blocks for a single decade.
The best players in the world describe him like he's a glitch in the system, like the league accidentally created something it can't control. Well, that's not hype. That's respect mixed with confusion. The more you listen, the clearer it gets. Nikola Jokic isn't just beating teams. He's scrambling defensive logic. He's making elite defenders question their own instincts. You guard the pass, he scores. You guard the shot, he fires a no-look dime through traffic. You double him, he smiles and dissects the coverage like it's practice.
Nikola Jokic, bro. Oh my God, he might be the best basketball player I've ever seen. Like close up, besides myself, to myself.
It's like playing chess against someone who's already 3 moves ahead while you're stuck on move 1. And then you look at the numbers and they sound fake. Since the 2019 to 2020 season, Jokic has led the entire NBA in total points, rebounds, assists, and
it's a very unique style of basketball. And his vision is amazing. He's an amazing playmaker. You know, he's the type of guy that, like, if you mess up a defensive coverage, he's gonna find it and expose it. You know, there's not many times you can make a mistake and him not figure.
Not just centers, not just big men, everybody, guards, wings, superstars, all of them. Sit with that for a second. That's unheard of. And somehow there's still another level. In the 2025 to 2026 season, he pushed it even further. Nearly 30 points per game, over 12 rebounds, almost 11 assists. That's basically a walking triple-double every night, and he's doing it on over 60% shooting from the field and close to 44% from 3.
this goddamn Joker guy, man, what? He's shooting like, did they say in like the last 5 or 6 games, he's shooting like 77% from the field?
Yeah, I mean, this season in 3 weeks, I think he's at 67% from the field.
Oh my good. And by the way, and this is not like one of those guys back in the day, like all dunks, you know, or all layups. No, this is everything.
All three.
That's not normal efficiency, that's cheat code efficiency. Some of this doesn't even look real on a video game screen. A 7-footer hitting step back threes, tossing behind the head pass, controlling pace like a point guard, backing down smaller defenders without looking rushed for a second. It's calm, it's quiet, it's deadly.
I've never seen anything like him. Just the way it's just weird. Like, he's just a weird dude. He'll just, before the game, he's on his little phone playing games, you know. I think he's starting to take his health more serious. But like before that, I heard after the season, he just goes back, drinks beer, rides horses, and then tries to get in shape a couple weeks before the season starts. Like he's just naturally
That's why even legends like LeBron James and Steve Nash talk about him differently. LeBron has called him one of the smartest players ever. Nash praises how he controls tempo like a maestro conducting an orchestra. When Hall of Fame minds sound amazed, you know this isn't regular greatness. And here's the scary part. Jokic doesn't play angry. He doesn't chase highlights. He doesn't look like he's forcing dominance. He just reads the floor, reacts, and suddenly your team is down 15 before you even understand what went wrong. And that's a different type of power.
How much do you think that plays an impact on how we connect to people like a Jokic, or how young people might connect to a dude like Ja, who feels more familiar to him?
I think that's true. That's what happened. But I think that Jokic, if you look at him, he don't want any of the recognition. He don't want any of the accolades. He don't want any of that. It's like when he gets something, it's like, what am I getting this from? Just doing my job. So maybe that turns people off, because usually the guys that look like us or that hoop like us,
defenders admit it's frustrating, coaches admit it's draining, analysts admit he breaks the usual labels. Is he a center, a point guard, a forward? The truth is he's all of it at once. He bends position rules until they don't even matter. So when players call him a glitch, they're not joking. They're being real. He didn't fit the blueprint. He rewrote it. Now really think about this. How does a player drafted 41st overall, considered slow by NBA standards, barely jumping over a phone book, end up with the highest player efficiency rating in league history?
I feel like the Nuggets kind of really encompass, like, you know, the terrible narrative of people who don't really understand the NBA, saying that we all play the same. Right. Nobody plays like them. You know, nobody can play like them because of what he does.
The highest box plus minus ever recorded, and he's doing it while carrying one of the heaviest offensive loads at his position. That's not supposed to happen. Second round picks are role players, energy guys, bench pieces. They're not supposed to run the league like this. Nikola Jokic flipped the whole script upside down. This is why NBA players don't just respect him, they're honestly confused by him, and it gets even crazier because it's not just that he scores, it's how he scores and where those buckets come from. Like, he's not living off dunks. He's not stacking easy rim runs. He's not just catching lobs and cleaning up scraps. He's cooking defenders with soft touch hooks, 1-foot floaters, slow motion step back threes, off balance fadeaways that look way too short.
Team with 2 timeouts remaining. With a timeout called or a lane violation. Take a look in the meantime.
As I watched this, I thought both Jokic, he triggers those guys breaking the lane.
And somehow they always draw. He'll back you down at his own pace. Pause, fake, pivot twice. Then casually flick the ball up like he's tossing laundry into a basket. No rush, no panic, just total control. That's the part that drives defenders crazy. But here's the twist that really messes with people. The most confusing part for many players isn't even what Jokic does during the game. It's how little he seems to care about the spotlight once it's over. No dramatic celebrations, no loud campaigns to be the face of the league, no chasing viral moments. When the buzzer sounds, he looks like someone who just finished a regular shift and is ready to head home. And that might seem small, but it explains something big. Globally, Jokic isn't always pushed as the face of the NBA. Even with numbers that look unreal, he dominates, then fades into the background. That doesn't match the usual superstar blueprint. You've even heard analysts like Nick Wright admit they were late to fully recognize how special he is, but players, they don't get to be late, they feel it in real time. Now, listen to playoff star Tyrese Halliburton talk about the Joker. He doesn't describe a normal matchup. It sounds more like he's talking about a puzzle with no final solution. You can guard him perfectly for 20 seconds, stay disciplined, do everything right, and then one tiny hesitation, one blink, and it's over. And here's the scary part. Even if you don't make an obvious mistake, Jokic can force one out of you anyway. He manipulates angles. He waits for your balance to shift half an inch. He baits you into helping just a little too much. Think about what he did against the Boston Celtics. Elite defense, sharp rotations, physical wing. None of it mattered. He kept them guessing, reacting, adjusting. By the time they processed it, the damage was already done. And that's the Joker effect. You think you're locked in, you think you're disciplined, and somehow he still finds the crowd. This is why NBA players say his impact stretches way beyond his stat line. It's not just about what he does individually. It's about what happens to the entire Denver Nuggets system when he's on the floor. You can see it instantly. The spacing gets sharper. The cuts are timed perfectly. The ball never sticks. Everything flows smoother, cleaner, smarter. It's like the whole machine upgrades the second he checks in. Even Jamal Murray admitted it during stretches when he had to lead without Jokic. He basically said everyone feels it. And when Jokic is out there, the game becomes easier for everybody else. That's not regular star power, that's ecosystem power. And this is exactly why defenders feel exposed against him. There's nowhere to hide. You can't coast on pure athleticism. You can't survive on hustle alone. One bad angle, I'm kind of what? Bucket. One late rotation, assist, one gamble that fails, 3 points on your head. And that's the pressure he creates every single possession. And once that rhythm hits, it snowballs fast. You blink and it's a 12-2 run that feels like it happened in 30 seconds. That's why he gets universal respect, not fake praise, not media hype. Real respect from players who hang their hat on defense. And when Bam Adebayo, one of the league's most physical and versatile big men, talks about guarding Jokic, he doesn't frame it like a normal matchup. He talks about balance, patience, skill, no flopping, no whistle hunting, just straight up basketball IQ and touch it. Inside locker rooms, players know the difference. They know who's living off friendly calls and viral highlights, and they know when someone is simply better than you. With Jokic, it's not loud dominance, it's surgical. He doesn't overpower you with crazy vertical explosion. He outthinks you. He waits, he reads, he punishes. One wrong lean and it's over. Then you hear former teammate Michael Porter Jr. describe him, and it almost sounds unreal. He's called him weird. Weird in the best way possible, because Jokic doesn't move like a superstar. He doesn't talk like one. He doesn't carry himself like someone chasing fame or validation. He's casually dominant, almost detached from the idea of being the guy. That's what makes it feel unbelievable. Teammates say he'll drop 35, 15, and 12 like it's just another Tuesday, then go right back to being the quietest voice in the room. No dramatic speeches, no branding machine, just a 7-footer quietly bending the league around him. And that calm, almost indifferent energy, it makes opponents even more uncomfortable. When someone is dismantling you without showing emotion, without flexing or yelling, that hits different. That's the Joker effect. He changes the temperature of the game without raising his voice. He doesn't fit the old legend blueprint at all. Nikola Jokic isn't selling the first in, last out myth every night. He's not crafting a camera-friendly persona. He's not chasing headlines. Yet every single season, he comes back sharper, smarter, more efficient. Even LeBron James has basically admitted it in interviews. There's a tone there, a real respect, almost a reluctant nod like, yeah, this guy is different. When a 4-time champion speaks on you like that, it carries weight. When NBA players talk about Jokic, they're not just listing stats or trophies, they're reacting to something that challenges their instincts. He dominates without blazing speed. He overwhelms without elite vertical pop. He controls games without demanding the spotlight. That's what throws people off. Greatness usually looks explosive, loud, flashy. Jokic looks calm, methodical, almost casual, but the impact, it's undeniable. The scoreboard doesn't lie. The advanced metrics don't lie. The playoff runs don't lie. Right now, Jokic has built a resume strong enough to enter the top 10 all-time conversation. The numbers back it. The MVPs back it. The consistency backs it. But let's keep it real. Legacy debates are ruthless. Without another championship, some critics won't move him into that inner circle. That's just how these conversations go. So here's the real question. Is this the year the Denver Nuggets grab that second title? Is this the season that locks it in and silences the doubters for good? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want to hear how NBA players react to another legend who reshaped the game in his own way, check out how they really feel about Stephen Curry next.